All righty. Well, it's 4 o'clock. I'd like to call the Plan Commission meeting to order. First item of business is the roll call. I'll note Ms. Wyatt, City Manager Houseman and new Commissioner Shannon Howe are excused today. Commissioner Highfield,
Present.
Commissioner Schultz,
Present.
Commissioner Kesnick,
Present.
Engineer Selly, I'm here. Commissioner Shull.
Here.
Thank you. Item number 3, new business, review and possible action relating to the minutes of the May 14th, 2024 regular Plan Commission meeting.
I'll move that we approve the 5/14/24 Plan Commission minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion about that? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 3B is a public hearing related to the zoning map amendment to change the zoning district for the property located at 1233 Janesville Avenue from light industrial to urban mixed use to accommodate future business use within the parcel. We'll have a public hearing on this. We'll call from the audience as well as from Zoom. But first, I invite our zoning administrator, Mr. Jed Drager, to kind of present this situation for us. Jed, let me share the screen and then I'll give you the mouse. Should be able to move around there pretty good.
Where is that?
Good afternoon. So yes, as you heard, this is 1233 Janesville Avenue. This is a proposed zoning amendment or map amendment with the desire to go from light industrial to urban mixed use. The current owner, Andrew Logan, who is also seated in here, has expressed difficulty in getting this building leased out, as most of the time been sitting vacant. Has been the recent Endeavor building. It's vacant offices right now, and it has had some other various uses in it, but it's fairly limited with the light industrial zoning, which is why the ask to be switching to urban mixed use. Some of those uses that are allowed in the urban mixed use would be indoor sales, commercial kitchen, apartments, restaurants, and also an overall mixed use building, which I think is what Mr. Logan is proposing. Is since it is quite a large building, it would be optimal to have a mixed use in there, and since of the space, it would accommodate of several different businesses. The urban mixed use, the light industrial has a limited amount of uses that would be offices, professional services, and some outdoor displays. Indoor storage and wholesaling would also be allowed in that. So, but it's a limited zoning. So that's once again why he's asking for the switch. So if you look up here on the screen, we have the Janesville Avenue Business District, which you can see in that red, which is community commercial. Excuse me, mouse is dropped there. That's community commercial with the arrow giving the location of the building itself. One thing to point out in our comprehensive plan, there is a future land use map that does show this. If I can just bring that up. Did we have that on here? That's all right. So you can see the parcel here right now. It's currently light industrial. The future land use map actually shows it as light industrial business park. But you saw in that previous map there where it has the overall area as community commercial. So there's a little conflict in there. I will note that in the business park future land use description, that would mimic our current business park zoning, which does allow for a large number of the uses that the urban mixed use is calling for. or does permit rather. So, and that, I think overall, this is it is following our comprehensive plan. So this would be fitting to the area, in my opinion. And I think a couple other things to note, I mean, the lot size area, it's meeting all the requirements that would be needed for an urban mixed use. As you can see, the surrounding areas here, there's a couple of those are the ones in red that are currently urban mixed use. And then we have some larger apartments back in here, so they would be appropriate for this type of zoning to go here. I did have a couple of people reach out to me from the surrounding areas, and they were just curious about the zoning change. One was one of the owns the apartment buildings over here, just expressing curiosity rather. And then after speaking with them, the proposal, they stated that it made sense for what was being proposed. So, I mean, with that, I'll take any questions. I will point out that staff recommends that the Plan Commission recommend the rezoning from light industrial to urban mixed use with a condition of any exterior changes or signage go through Plan Commission here for their approvals.
Thanks, Jed. I think we'll hold questions from the commission, and I'll make a first call for public comment on this, both folks on the Zoom and in person. Make a second call for public comment on this, both on Zoom and in person. And a third and final call for public comment on this, both in person and on Zoom. Okay, the public hearing is closed at this time. We'll move on to item 3C, which is review and possible recommendation to the city council relating to a zoning map amendment to change the zoning district for the property at 1233 Janesville Avenue from light industrial to urban mixed use to accommodate future business use. This, of course, is the parcel we've been talking about. So at this point, if Plan Commission have any questions for Mr. Drager, we could, I'm sure, ask and hear some answers to those. And to that end as well, Mr. Logan is in the audience. And if we have any questions specifically of him as the business owner, we can ask him to come to the podium.
Yeah, I've got a question for Mr. Logan if he wants to come up to the podium. I guess my question is more, is this just is this a proactive approach to try to attract more tenants to this site? Or do you have someone potentially already lined up and you just realize that inconsistent with the zoning and you're just waiting on the zoning change to make that happen?
It's a little of both. I've applied for financing to try to make some improvements to the building that will make it more flexible. It's going to require that it be sprinkled to do much of anything with it under the urban mixed use. So there's an expense to that. And in working with my architect, we're trying to make some facade changes. The building has a lot of entrances, and it's actually 3 separate buildings built at 3 different times, 1965 to 2006. So we're looking at whether that would be best to be broken up or not. I've got an interest by a small restaurant cafe operator out of Milton, possibly coming into part of the space. We're looking at a possible dog groomer, maybe a small arcade space, and then also looking at the possibility of doing either retail or resale and or consignment out of the building. But again, all of that would be subject to financing. So at this point, the change of zoning, to answer your question, is just give us the most flexibility. I don't have any intention of doing storage or apartments in the building, but I am looking for alternative uses or alternative tenants.
Oh, no, thank you very much. This is more of a question out of curiosity, not I'm not trying to indicate any preference towards anything. The looking at the property from the Janesville street, especially during the summer, fall months, you've got a lot of trees blocking the physical view. And there are like two pedestal signs for like the entrance kind of off of Hilltop and then one off of Janesville. Would you be doing any sort of landscape changes? Although I am a big fan of trees, I can see how this could impede your ability for drive-by visual traffic to notice the building for possible tenants in the future.
I want to thank you for pointing that out. Yes, I also love the trees, but and the bees, but yes, that really does need to be cleared out somewhat. And the landscaping around the building itself is all 40 years old and just enormously overgrown. So the intention is not to clear cut the whole property, but definitely thin it out until we get some drive-by visibility that is exactly what you're alluding to.
I should note as well that Andrew mentioned facade changes for the building. That will be under separate review for any site plan changes that happen through the Plan Commission.
All right, thank you very much.
Can you clarify a little bit on that, Andy?
So the any changes to the site plan itself comes through the site plan review process. This is just simply a change of the zoning.
Gotcha.
as I
Okay.
mentioned. Similar to, I think, what you had done previously with the accommodations for the academy, the karate academy.
Yes.
Was that a few
Okay.
years ago?
That makes sense. Sure. Thank you.
And just along those lines for clarification, the drawings that you submitted, the plan and the two elevations, I assume those are still in development, and when we do review the site plan and exterior modifications, we'll see like a planting plan and two other elevations of the other two sides of the building.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Any additional questions from the commission?
Yeah, just to your last question there.
Yeah.
Any one of those would go through the full site plan review, which would include landscaping plans and all those things. I included that drawing in there. That was given to me from Mr. Logan as a concept of that they do plan to make improvements to the building. But nothing has come forward for an actual plan and approval yet.
Okay.
So this would be just for the zoning.
That's what I thought. Okay, thank you.
I'll remind the commission that the recommendation here will go to city council and would have 3 readings at the city council as it is a zoning ordinance change.
Well, I will move to recommend to the city council the rezoning of 1233 Janesville Avenue from light industrial to urban mixed use, subject to the conditions of the site plan review, new signage review, and exterior alterations.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Just a small comment. I'd just like to thank Mr. Logan for remaining invested in our community and trying to make changes to keep our community vibrant and a vibrant business community in the city. So I look forward to hopefully everything passing and seeing what this site can become. So.
I'll call the question then. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 4 is adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Commissioner Kesnick, we have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. And we are adjourned. Thank you all very much.